I'm Erica, one of the counselors here at Oak Hill School, and we are here today for our parent workshop, How to Reduce and Navigate Power Struggles. All right, so let's go over what we will be covering today. We'll go over the purpose and objectives of the workshop. Then we're going to review what is a power struggle. Then why do power struggles occur? Tips for preventing power struggles. How to navigate that pesky power struggle when it does happen. And just, a few things to keep in mind. Wrap it all up. So, what is a power struggle? For the purposes of this training, we will use the TCIS definition since we are a TCIS school. And so according to TCI, a power struggle is a situation where two people become locked in a verbal or physical conflict while trying to assert control over the other person or situation. And as you can see, my friends in the canoe behind me, or this way, I don't know which way it would be. It's like the hand jive. But you're rowing in different directions. You're fighting against each other, even though you have a common purpose to go in a certain direction. But you're working against each other. And honestly, when there's a power struggle, we all know everyone loses. All right, so let's talk about why do power struggles occur? Something triggers a stress response in the child and their behavior escalates. Now, there are a slew of different reasons power struggles can occur. And for you and your specific child, what we go over today, all of it may be true, some of it may be true, just one thing may be true. But just having an understanding of the why can be a huge asset in preventing and navigating them. Now, I need us to remember that seeking control is developmentally appropriate for kids. And as adults, sometimes when our requests are not met, we can become triggered and then tend to escalate the situation. One of the biggest tips, is consistency. Consistency. Because even though you don't see consistency as its own bubble above me floating, it has to do with every single tip we're about to go over. If you're consistent with these things, over time you will see a decrease in the amount of power struggles you're getting in with your child. All right, so number one, give them some control. When I say control, I mean controlled choices. As we just talked about, it is developmentally appropriate for kids to want to have some control. So controlled choice means they don't get to go willy-nilly and do whatever. It's they get a choice between the expectation you're giving them. So for instance, do you want to brush your teeth now or do you want to brush your teeth in 5 minutes? Number two, keep healthy routines. Announce transitions when possible. Now, obviously, home is not school. And there's countdowns that you can give kids. You can let them know their schedule for their day. Kids are wired to seek safety. So when they know what's coming next, they can better utilize the emotional regulation parts of their brain. If I'm playing PlayStation 5 and all of a sudden someone comes in and says, all right, go brush your teeth, it is way more likely I'm going to have a big reaction than if someone came in and said, hey, in 5 minutes or 7 minutes, which would you like to brush your teeth? Right? You have the control and the healthy routine. Keep clear limits and boundaries. Consistency again. You can set firm limits on what is acceptable behavior and what consequences and or rewards will be stuck to it, but you have to follow through. Clear limits and boundaries help teach and shape behavior. If you have ones that aren't consistent, or one day you can do jump off the couch and day 2 you get in trouble for it, you're going to be more likely to have power struggles with your kids because they don't know what to expect. And again, kids are wired to seek safety, want to know what to expect. Number 4, first then language. First, we are going to go to the grocery store. Then when we get home, you get to play with your toys. Letting them know what the expectation is and then what they get after. Again, that's part of the routines, helping them know what to expect. There's less unknowns and less of a chance for a big reaction. Number 5, scale expectations, offer to help, hurdle help. We had talked about early on, when a request is made from a kid, why? They can do this. They've brushed their teeth for weeks, but today they're having a big issue with it. So you offer hurdle help. Like, hey, there's a roll of masking tape in front of me. I'll show it to you. Masking tape. Hey, masking tape. Would you like me to put the toothpaste on for you? You brush your teeth, and then I'll rinse the toothbrush? Maybe they say yes, maybe they don't. But how can you break it into steps, and how can you help with some of those steps if it's a task or an expectation that they are really all of a sudden struggling with? Let's give it up for masking tape. Thank you, masking tape. You did a great job. All right, now this one, problem solve together. Now you cannot problem solve when things are getting heightened or a power struggle feels like it's brewing, but when you're both at baseline and it seems like the same issue keeps happening, sit down, have a conversation, get the child's input as to why, come up with ways to solve the problem that they agree on, because that also teaches them some accountability. And 7, language matters. Instead of telling kids what they can't do, tell them what they can do instead. Our language helps decrease the instances of power struggle and helps kids understand, too, what's going on. So how to navigate power struggles when they do happen. Ding, ding, ding. Time to respond part versus react. Because as the picture shows, when you're responding, you're using your thinking brain. When you're reacting, you're using your survival brain, your angry emotions. So I think the first thing we want to go over is the self-reflection piece. Because knowing our triggers can help us avoid those power struggles and navigate them and kind of stop them when they do start. So here's my thought bubbles. So common thoughts behind triggers. Feeling like you don't respect me. This is not convenient. Kind of that helplessness. I don't know what to do. I can't cope. I feel unappreciated. I expect you to do more than you can. Or I can't do what I want to do. And my number one trigger is logic. So now what do? How do we navigate ourselves out of it to still teach accountability, get what the kid needs, get what we need? Well, one is, notice it's happening. Once you do notice, listen and validate feelings. I think that it's always important to remember any feeling anybody's having is always valid. The behavior might not be, but the feeling is. Even if it doesn't match the situation that's going on. Feelings are always valid. Tip to avoid and tip to navigate when they are happening, continue to give controlled choice. Dropping or changing the expectation. Maybe lessen the expectation that you ask. Maybe just change it. Sometimes it's okay just to do nothing. To notice it's happening, just do nothing. Give wait time. See, I just did it there. I waited. I didn't speak right after the last thing. When you give a child a request, give them time to process it, make it plain in their head, and do it the way that feels right to them. Sometimes it's as easy as, okay, masking tape, can you pick up your socks? And if masking tape doesn't do it right then and I've already been triggered, I might immediately ask again. And then we're going to escalate things. Give masking tape wait time to process what I've asked, make a plan, and then do it. Also, tip to avoid and tip to navigate, offer that hurdle help. Offer ways to break up the tasks that you can help. Stop the power struggle and offer a redo. Start it from the beginning. Give the child time to emotionally regulate, de-escalate themselves, and work. It's hard to do these, especially when you're triggered. Especially when it's constantly, all of the time. I get it. I hear you. And with consistency, doing some of these, all of these, whatever works for your household, your parenting style, in the long run, will help you be less frustrated and help the child get what they need. All right, let's wrap things up with a wrap. Ready, masking tape? Drop the beat. No, I'm just kidding. But things to keep in mind are, after a power struggle, it's always important to repair the relationship. Don't just leave it, touch base when everyone's regulated. We said before, problem solve, come up with a plan. Now we've given you some tips, tricks, and we have a roundtable coming up on, drumroll, October 29th at 12:30 to 1:30. There will be a link provided to all parents. Come with your specific questions as a follow-up to this video, and we hope to see you there. Thanks, everyone.